the strategic reserve of Russian madness is also growing. You understand that for the continuation of the war, for the success of the dictatorship, a very important resource, no less important than mobilization, military or missile resources, is, of course, the stupidity of the population. And we know this simply from the explored reserves. In terms of explored reserves of malice and backwardness, Russia is in first place in the world. And the primitiveness of the people is also a foundation. It is the basis of Putinism, the basis of a stable dictatorship, the triumph of malice and war. This is stupidity. The stupidity of the people is no less important than the orcs and the nutcrackers. And today, look, well, it's such a delight. Today, there is direct evidence that this resource, the resource of stupidity, is growing, multiplying. Do you remember that scandalous story with the Operation Dead Blood? It's a pipe where some choked on vomit, some died from suffocation. Some were killed at the entrance, at the exit. The orcs who tried to infiltrate the rear of the armed forces of Ukraine. Nevertheless, this pipe became a cult, a focal point of all propaganda. And it is given some kind of extraordinary significance. And now the Russian Orthodox Church has joined in. Priests of the Russian Orthodox Church are turning this pipe into a new spiritual cult. The establishment of a special religious holiday, the Orthodox pipe, is being discussed. Several clergymen have officially, among other things, reported the presence of God and true grace in the pipe. Due to propaganda, it insists on the necessity of the operation. Dead mole being celebrated, just as Jews have celebrated the Purim holiday for thousands of years. And on my Telegram channel, I believe, by the way, I am the only one with a completely unique photo. A photo from Yekaterinburg of this endless crowd of people around. A semblance, an imitation of the very pipe in which they choked. The vomiting orcs. And as we now understand, in this photo is the line to God, to that very Almighty, who, according to the latest statements by churchmen, lives in the pipe. That is to say, let's put it this way, in contradiction with the text of the prayer, Our Father, he resides not in the heavens, but as they say, in the pipes. And this is confirmed by the local Yekaterinburg churchmen, who were the first to organize this pious attraction. What can be in this pipe? If you crawl through it, you can meet God there and even touch and smell him. And according to the reviews of everyone who has already gone through this path in the pipe, this Lord Sabaoth, God in general, by touch resembles a plumber. And the Russian God, of course, smells of gas, vodka, and steps. But at the same time, all are bearers of sin. He grabs young women by the backside and can pull a wallet from pensioners. And besides this, the pleasure of squeezing with God in the pipe, the sacrament of crawling through the pipe, it guarantees initiation into military glory and victory. The waiting time in line to get into the pipe is about 2 hours. Since everything is very complicated, this entire Orthodox fauna crawls through the pipe for a long time, and sometimes particularly hefty individuals simply clogged it. This idea belongs to the local metropolitan. This esteemed elector insisted on making an exact copy of that very pipe in Suja, where in fact he very carefully and precisely, the mass death of orcs occurred, and this pipe in Yekaterinburg is installed in the churchyard, approximately in the very place where once, according to legends, Nicholas Techt was countered. And you know, it's not even funny anymore, because condemning Putin's Russia is as absurd as, well, probably being outraged by the rules in a troop of baboons. Well, in this troop, yes, they have their own special joys, incomprehensible and unknown to modern people. After all, it's impossible to convince baboons, to persuade them that the dandruff they pick from each other and eat is a very unappetizing thing. But for them, it's a favorite dish. In the same way, it's pointless to fight against other baboon-like notions. You will never convince the Mercy tribe, which inserts a plate into the cut lower lip of women, that this is a foolish action. Any religiosity is a set of primitive, savage notions about the world that arose in the pre-scientific period.